Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. There are about 200 employers in the state of New Hampshire that fall under the executive order by President Biden that their employees must be vaccinated, fully vaccinated. But of course, there's resistance and there are legal challenges already in the works. Here is the essence of that executive order in terms of employers, at least. With 100 plus employees, New Hampshire has about 200. It requires them to have employees fully vaccinated. Religious and medical exceptions are possible. Employees may opt out and get weekly testing with paid time off. Now, there is enforcement and there are challenges. The enforcement by the U.S. Department of Labor, OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, to enforce new rules and issue fines. No date yet set for rules to be issued. As far as we know, President's mandate is subject to legal challenges and resistance. With me, to explain all of that in legal terms, especially, is the chair of the Labor and Employment Group at Sheen, Finney, Bass & Green in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, James Reedy. Welcome, Jim.
Thanks, Fred.
Now, you gave a briefing to the New Hampshire Tech Alliance, so we're going to get some of that from you. But you have a large business practice. What feedback are you getting from your clients on this?
A lot of feedback. It's a bit mixed. Most are just asking a lot of questions. Some welcome the mandate because they were trying to implement mandates of their own. And others are resisting it because of the difficulty finding employees. And this could make it more difficult if they require their employees to get vaccinated.
Good point. For those who have followed the news, you all know in the audience that the vaccination mandate also includes federal workers, the military, and federal government contractors. Now, we have a number of federal government contractors in New Hampshire, such as BAE Systems and Raytheon Marine, but we also have a lot of smaller federal contractors. So the question is, does a federal contractor business under 100 employees have to comply with the mandate simply because they're a federal contractor?
That is one of many questions that are left unanswered at this point. Remember, the executive orders were just last week on the 9th. And so there are a lot of unanswered questions. That's one. How do you determine whether or not you're covered as a federal contractor? Is it based on the size of the contract? Is it based on the number of employees that you have? Are subcontractors covered? We don't know yet, and we're expecting the regulations out in the next 30 to 60 days.
And the Labor Department is writing those rules of enforcement as we speak. What do you expect them to say?
Well, it's issued under the emergency technical standards that OSHA can issue these rules and regulations for about 6 months. And I think they'll basically follow the executive order as much as possible and hopefully give us some more definition too to some of the questions that we have.
Right. Of course, there are already legal challenges and resistance in the works here in New Hampshire. As you know, Governor Sununu says he'll join with other governors and, quote, see how best we can push back against this federal overreach. What say you?
Well, there are many challenges, and I think some of the challenges are constitutional with regard to suggesting overreach by the federal government. Powers not necessarily theirs. But I think that the challenges will likely be in the court, and this is the way I look at it. In recent years, emergency technical standards issued by OSHA have been challenged and vacated by courts. But in the last 6 months, we've also had a situation where employer mandates, whether we're talking about Mercy Hospital in Texas or the University of Indiana that have these vaccine mandates, have been upheld by courts. So the needle's tilting towards potentially being upheld, but there are parts of it that certainly need to be clarified.
We can probably say there'll probably be more people vaccinated for sure. Jim Reedy, who is chair of the Labor and Employment Group at Sheen, Finney, Bass & Green in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Thank you.